Okay, just like it says up there in this section, we're looking at polynomial functions in one variable. And basically, you're going to learn what LC is. LC stands for leading coefficient. That's what LC stands for, not Lake City. And HD stands for highest degree. This stands for the HD, and this stands for the LC. So basically, you're going to circle the one that has the highest degree to it. And this one right here has the highest degree. And the highest degree in this problem is 6. So that's the first part of this assignment. And the number out in front of that highest degree is called the leading coefficient, 9. Okay, let's do a couple more of these. Circle the highest degree. This is the highest degree, 5. And the number out in front is called the leading coefficient, 7. Highest degree, 6. Leading coefficient, -9. Highest degree, 7. Leading coefficient, 10. So that's the first part of the worksheet. Now comes the second part of the worksheet. This gets kind of confusing, so I want you to look at this. These are called the end behaviors that you'll need to write down. If the arrows are both facing up, I'll just write it on here. Your leading coefficient is positive and your highest degree is even. If they're both facing down, your leading coefficient is negative and your highest degree is even. If one is facing down and the other one's facing up, the leading coefficient is positive, but the highest degree is odd. And if it's facing up and then facing down, the leading coefficient is negative, but the highest degree is odd. This is really important. These graphs aren't gonna help you, so why don't you just worry about those 4 circle things that I did, and I'll revert back to these in a minute. So here's the next part. Okay, this second page is exactly what I just wrote. It's exactly positive coefficient, even exponent. But I don't need to rewrite this again because it's already on that page. That'll save you some time. So this is what you're doing on the second part of the worksheet. You're going to do exactly what you did on the first worksheet, part of the worksheet, except we're going to add an EB to this. Okay, let's start with circling the largest power. Which one of these 4 has the largest power? This one, it's to the 3rd power. This is called the highest degree. The highest degree is 3. The leading coefficient in front of it is 4. So far, so good? Okay, now this is where you have to look at that chart. So go back to that chart, which is right here. The highest degree is even. It's an even number. The even number is 4. And then the leading coefficient is positive. So since it's positive and even, this is called the end behavior, facing both up. So I'm going to go back to this page. The leading coefficient is 4 and highest degree is 3. Okay, I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to put it up here on this board so you can look at it. If they're both facing up or if they're both facing down, they're called even. And if one's facing down and one's facing up, or one facing down and one facing up, they go in different direction. These are odd. So that should be easy. Same direction is even. Odd direction is odd. This one's the positive one, this one's the negative one, This one's the positive one. This one's the negative one. Okay, so let's go back up into here. Your highest degree is 3. So let's go back down to here. Your highest degree is 3. That's an odd number. 3 is odd. So I'm going to put down this is odd. Your leading coefficient is positive. So it's positive and odd. Positive and odd. Positive and odd is going to down and then up. So just make a down and then up. And that's why the first part was so important. Let's do another one. This is the leading coefficient is a -2. Your highest degree is 1. This is an odd number. This number here is negative. So this one is negative and odd. So let's look back at here, this chart. Negative and odd is up and then down. Up and then down. Okay, let's do a couple more. Leading coefficient, highest degree, and behavior. This is 3. Highest degree is 3. That's an odd number. 3 is an odd number. The leading coefficient is a -5. That stands for negative or positive. So it's negative and odd is the same one that you have up above. One more. Leading coefficient, highest degree, and behavior. I'm going to circle this one. The highest degree is 6. The number out in front is a -8. This stands for negative, and this is an even number. It's a negative and even. Look at your chart. Here's even and negative. It's going to both face down. Now let's do one more, and I think we are done. We'll put it right on here so you can see the chart. Y equals a -2. No, let's not. Let's make it a +2. X to the 7th plus x to the 6th minus x to the 5th. There you go. So, leading coefficient, highest degree, and end behavior. I'm going to circle the highest degree is 7. The number out in front is called the leading coefficient. It's 2. This number is a positive number, and this number down here is an odd number. I need to look at a positive and odd. Positive and odd starts down and ends up. And that's all you're doing on this worksheet. Now we're going to put it all together for 6.4.